Good morning and welcome to Morning Glen Business on this Wednesday, February 22nd, 2023. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. And this morning it's time for our monthly segment with Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center. And very pleased to have back with us, we have Executive Director Samantha Roll and Deputy Executive Director Felice Bethel. Ladies, always a pleasure to have you with us. Good morning. Good morning. First time seeing you for the year. Is it too late to say Happy New Year? Happy New Year. You can still say that, right? It's supposed to stop after January, but anyway. And we also have from Perfect Tone, we have Aaron Pinder. Good morning. Great to have you with us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right. So today we're talking about renewable energy. You have a Renewable Energy Initiative. You even have a town meeting this week. But let's talk about it. Of course, everybody's focusing on energy and especially renewables and climate change and all of that. But let's talk about it in the perspective of 8th grade SBDC.
Well, before we even talk about the Renewable Energy Initiative itself, I think it's important for business owners to understand what renewable energy is. Mm-hmm. So just sharing a simple definition, renewable energy is derived from natural, non-depletable or rapidly replenished resources such as the sun, wind, water, tidal, and geothermal heat. And there are three main benefits of renewable energy. The first and most important is that renewable energy is renewable, meaning that it never runs out. Mm-hmm. The second benefit is that renewable energy produces zero greenhouse gas emissions that contribute to climate change and global warming. Yeah. The third benefit, especially for business owners, is that renewable energy can lead to potential energy cost savings.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we know we need to save when it comes to that, especially what we've been seeing over the past couple of years.
And especially for small business owners who need to be profitable and sustainable, mm-hmm. renewable energy is a way to help them do that.
Yeah. So far, what are you seeing from your clients? How many of them are on board with this, or are they just talking or thinking about this now?
Well, you want to go? Okay. Okay. So the first step in this initiative was that we launched an energy efficiency survey. And so far, 145 clients have taken the survey and told us exactly what they would like to do to be more energy efficient. So 145 took the survey, 100 confirmed that they need $7.4 million for energy efficiency and renewable energy items. Now, our thing is, before you invest that kind of money, you first need to know how energy efficient your business is to begin with, or where your business is wasting energy. So the second step of the initiative is to have the town hall meeting tomorrow so we can educate small business owners about energy audits, which can pinpoint specific wastage areas. They can make recommendations as to how you improve, and it can also show you what your cost savings will be if the recommendations are implemented. Mm-hmm. And then the third step is applying for funding.
Yeah. Tell us more about that part of it, what that entails and the benefits of this and what you can use this for. Is this to install renewable energy equipment? What exactly are we talking about?
Okay, so under our guaranteed loan program, we have several special initiatives planned for the year, the first being the Renewable Energy Initiative. So that means small businesses can apply through the SBDC for up to $500,000 to purchase LED lighting, building insulation, smart appliances, solar panels. And this funding is made available through our funding partners, including Fidelity Bank, Royal Bank of Canada, Bahamas Development Bank, National Workers Cooperative Credit Union, and Teachers and Salaried Cooperative Credit Union. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So we've identified a problem, and that's what this initiative is about, identifying the problem that small businesses are too dependent on non-renewable energy. Mm-hmm. And so we wish to sort of focus on renewable energy solutions so that they can save costs at a time when we're reading in the newspapers that energy costs are increasing.
Mm-hmm.
So is this for existing SBDC clients who have had funding already and are looking to switch over to renewables, or people new
existing and startups?
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what's been the response so far? I mean, you have the town meeting tomorrow. You're going to get more then. But what were you hearing from others? You identified the problem. But did they say it would be nice if we could get some help?
Oh, definitely. So, I mean, the fact that you have 100 people saying, I want $7.4 million to buy renewable energy or energy efficiency solutions. And that's just from a small sample. So I'm sure as we continue to talk about the initiative on Morning Blend through the town hall meeting, and this is an initiative that goes away after the end of the month. This is year-long. So this is just the start of us talking about renewable energy and making businesses more energy efficient.
Yeah. Samantha?
If I may add, I think the other part of this is our partnerships, right? And so SBDC, with this particular initiative, have partnered with the BPL, has partnered with the power company in Grand Bahama, and we've also partnered with the Chamber of Commerce and a few others to help with the facilitation, distribution of the survey in order for us to collect that information. Mm-hmm. When we talk about sustainability, when we talk about small businesses and its impact, I also want to note that even from last year, in terms of one of our programs we hosted or facilitated, which was the Sustainable Food Growth Grant, out of that came the Climate Smart Initiative. So even then we saw, again, the need to support small businesses in terms of technology-infused, climate smart initiatives that they're doing across their businesses. So it was amazing to see farmers and fishers utilize these types of concepts and methods to sustain their business, but also in a positive way impact the climate, right? And so I think that it's important to note that these things can transcend across any industry, sector, business, and it can also help in, that prevailing, the cost of doing business in the Bahamas, and one of those costs being the highest is energy.
Absolutely. So,
now I have a question about that 7 million number. Is that because you've surveyed large businesses that need big scale systems, or that's just the cost of systems still very expensive? And
so it's just not only for solar panels. So you can get electric vehicles, for example, under this initiative. So it's for a number of things that people are asking for funding. But the thing too, what I think is important before submitting funding applications, small business owners should know the difference between energy efficiency and renewable energy. Mm-hmm. Because renewable energy does not reduce your energy consumption. It can reduce your energy costs because the renewable energy system is providing you with energy that you would otherwise purchase from BPL or GBPC. Energy efficiency is when you reduce your energy consumption. And so we want people to know the difference, that basically first invest in energy efficiency, then renewable energy.
You could switch to renewable and still be a hog. Exactly.
And then you can purchase also energy efficient items like LED lighting, but you still use it inefficiently. Mm-hmm. So if your space or room is not occupied, turn off the LED lighting.
Yeah. All right, so tomorrow, what can we expect at the town hall meeting?
Sure. Mm-hmm. So tomorrow at the town hall, we have a number of individuals who will be speaking on this topic, and our very own Rhea Butler will be hosting and facilitating. And then we have Mr. Smith, Julian Smith, who's one of the speakers and presenters. Julian has been consistent because in addition or as part of this initiative, we've hosted a number of info sessions live on our social media platforms, and he has been a staple, I want to say expert within this space to inform and highlight with our clients, but also open to the public. We've also engaged, again, like I said, BPL. So we've had a number of BPL representatives. The one for tomorrow will be Burlington from BPL, and he will then also share information around energy efficiency, renewable energy concepts, methods as well. So I think, tomorrow is going to be phenomenal. I think it's important to first be informed. I think then we talked about the audits so that you can fully understand where the gaps are, and then you take action, not only from conserving, but then also utilizing renewable energy to reduce your costs.
I see one of the topics is going off grid. Can companies do that, or is it just households, individuals?
Right. So businesses can go off grid, but there's an application process. You have to go through ERCA as well as BPL. If you're a resident, then you only need to seek permission from BPL. So the topic around that is, what is the capacity that BPL or GBPC has for your business to go off grid? What is the application process? How do you vet a solar panel vendor before you? Because there are many businesses who have contracted, solar panel installers, and they weren't necessarily experts, and so it did not lead to the energy cost savings that these businesses were expecting.
Yeah. All right, so who should attend tomorrow? Who needs to come out to this tomorrow?
Well, I think everyone within the small business space should attend. I think the other part of that is we're facilitating businesses that want to outfit their, let's say, brick and mortar and become more energy efficient. The other part of that is those businesses within the space. Right. So we're also providing funding and opportunities for those businesses that, whether they supply solar panels, those businesses that are facilitating the installation of those things. We're also facilitating those businesses in any of their one startup and or expansion. So it's along both of those tracks. So not only the small businesses who are looking to properly outfit their brick and mortar or their business space, but then also those who are within that business as installers, as even professional services, and suppliers to participate in this initiative.
Yeah.
And we want people to come and ask provocative questions. So, for instance, let's say your business is leasing from a landlord. Ask the question, who should invest in solar panels, the tenant or the landlord? And so we want those types of questions.
That's a good question.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe landlords should come out too.
Exactly.
To find out what the appetite is. I've had this problem of installing like chargers for electric vehicles on their properties.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow.
Exactly.
Wow. So tell us the details, when, where, what people need to do if they want to be a part of it.
Okay, so it is tomorrow. The town hall meeting is tomorrow. It is at our office in Bay 5, as we affectionately call it. But it's at our office on Gladstone Road tomorrow. It starts at 6 p.m. It starts at 6 p.m.
But if you come early, you can test drive an electric vehicle. So, yes, exactly. So we have that little, surprise for people who show up early.
Sounds good. Yeah. That sounds good. And how many people can you accommodate? How many can people attend virtually?
Exactly. So people, I would say in-person attendance will probably be limited to 100 because we're still in a COVID environment. But also people from the Family Islands can join virtually through our Facebook platform. Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center.
Yeah. And what are you hoping is the ultimate? What will come out of this at the end of the day? What are you expecting?
Dwight, it's very simple. We want small businesses to be profitable and sustainable. If energy is one of the most expensive items for small businesses, this is an opportunity for you to become energy efficient and more profitable. As well, if you reduce how much money you're spending on energy, you can now use that money for marketing campaigns or staff training, things that will actually increase your volume of sales. So we're hoping just for that, for small businesses to be profitable and sustainable through renewable energy.
From a strategic partner perspective, we're also hoping to utilize this opportunity with Bahamas Power and Light and the power company in Grand Bahama to see how we can look at ways that our MSME, small business community can benefit. Right? What are some programs? What are some concessions? What are some tide grid or grid tied scenarios that we can formulate for small businesses in order to reduce that cost? Yeah. And I think that is just as important as well.
Yeah. Have you had any renewable energy kind of businesses that you've funded over the years that are partners already?
Well, the thing is, actually, the first funded client of the SBDC is Drive Grain Rentals, right. Which rents electric vehicles only. Outside of that, recently Limeade is a client who just installed maybe $70,000 worth of solar panels. We have a video showing what his new facility looks like. So we have clients who have already been on board in terms of renewable energy. We're just looking now to expand that to as many clients as possible.
Okay, excellent stuff. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, a lot more to talk about. We're going to talk with Aaron Pinder as well. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, Morning Blend Business. We're going to be back in just a bit here on the station. Stay with us.
Hi, my name is Aaron Pinder. I'm the CEO of Perfect Tone. Perfect Tone has been open since 1980, and we provide skincare products that we manufacture and skincare services that deal with multiple skin concerns for Black women and men. Perfect Tone started in 1980 by my mother. When she moved to the Bahamas from London, she realized that there were a lot of Black women and men walking around with marks and scars among their face, comfortable because there wasn't anything made for them at the time. So she actually became a pioneer in the industry, being one of the first to supply skincare for people of color. About 94% of our customers have a high satisfaction rating as they receive results within 30 days of using their products or services at Perfect Tone. So in August 2022, we won the Sustainable Business Competition. And I believe that we won it because we showed our sales, we showed our resilience over the past 43 years and the amount of recessions and pandemic that we went through, and we were still able to grow throughout that. That, as well as the fact that only 9 out of 119 skincare businesses in the Bahamas renewed their business license from 2015 to 2018. I think all of that, along with us manufacturing our products and being safe and eco-friendly, that shows the value of the brand and that our products do work and that it is a sustainable business for the future. And I believe that that's why Fidelity awarded us with the $10,000 for winning that competition. So my family, including my business family, we focus on renewable energy all day. We are the type of people, we compost, we have solar, we focus on the SEER ratings of our ACs, we have smart appliances on timers, we know about insulation, the type of insulation to use and where to put it, converting to LED and knowing that you don't have to use as much LED as other bulbs because it takes up a bigger surface area. Perfect Tone believes about perfection in the details. And with working so long on perfecting our customer's skin, we look at the details such as conservation of energy too and renewable energy. We have to focus on that in order to become profitable and become a sustainable business. Perfect Tone has proven itself over the past 43 years of being a sustainable business. And that not only includes how we manufacture our products, but how we do our services as well.
For more information, call us at 461-7232 or WhatsApp us at 359-0626. If you prefer to email, the address is helpdesk@sbdcbahamas.com. Finally, our website is accessaccelerator.org.
Welcome back to Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards, and we're talking with A Squared SBDC, Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center. We've got Samantha Roll and Felice Bethel. And we also have from Perfect Tone, Aaron Pinder, who won your Sustainable Business Pitch Competition last year. This is a big deal. Congratulations on that, Aaron. But tell us about Perfect Pitch and Perfect Tone with the pitch competition. There was a pitch competition. A lot of words flying around. Perfect Tone, and then we'll get into the plan and why it was so successful. We'll get into that. But tell us about your company.
Well, the background and the story about Perfect Tone, we haven't really said much. But Perfect Tone was started by my mother in 1980. People would remember her as Leela from Leela Skincare. Okay. A lot of people over 50, they have always mentioned that they went there when they were teenagers, and now their children or their grandchildren, they go to Perfect Tone now. Mm-hmm. So what happened in 1980, this was after my mom moved to the Bahamas with my father. They were in London for school. So what happened is my mom saw so many people walking around with skin concerns, acne, marks, and they were comfortable with it because at that time, there was nothing made for people of color. Everything was for your general white person. Mm-hmm. So what she did was she got to work. She mixed up ingredients. She learned from her background in medicine and aesthetics, and she started to mix ingredients, and she kind of became obsessed with trying to find the right product to work for Black people.
Wow.
So she opened it. It was gangbusters. People loved Leela Skincare, and it was, the pioneer business at that time. And in 2010, I took over. We eventually called it Perfect Tone, and we started building out the business from the ground up. And that's what kind of brings in the sustainability. At the end of the day, we had to rebuild from the ground up. We had to say, how can we take this 1980 business and create it into the skincare business of the future? How do we stay on top of people's minds? Mm-hmm. Well, one of the reasons that we are called Perfect Tone is because we obsess over our formulation and our products and our ingredients. We manufacture them ourselves, and every year if there's something that needs to improve, we improve it, we tweak it. We really try to get that perfect product to give you that perfect tone. See where it came from?
Yeah.
Right. So
how many people in your team? What was it comprised of?
Right now, about 15.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So how it brings in the sustainability is that we check for the safety of our products. We check to make sure that it doesn't have any bad ingredients, bad chemicals, no parabens, that it's safe. We check for our packaging, make sure that it's economic. We try and ingrain that into all of our aspects of our business. We don't allow you to print like that. We could do email, we could SAC. We try and save on every aspect of it to try and keep that eco-friendly business up. And it doesn't only stop there, because at the end of the day, that's where it comes into the energy efficiency, which leads to renewable energy.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, OPEX is your biggest thing on your overhead, whether you are working remotely or you have a storefront. That energy is going to consume. So if we're talking about making sure our products are safe and making sure we have eco-friendly packaging and whatnot, we got to consider that in where we are conducting business as well.
Right.
So we develop tips, making sure that even though you switch to LED, you could reduce the amount of LED lights you have. You could have your smart appliances. You could have your electric water heater that's on solar. And then all of that makes it a lot cheaper to go to renewable energy, because when you talk about 7.8 million required for renewable energy, it could be less depending on how you prep for it. Right. Depending on the insulation you use and where you use it. So when it comes down to when you're looking at profitability, all of it is related. And when you're talking about a sustainable business that can last throughout time, making sure that these products are safe, making sure that what we do, our passion and our purpose, it's out there to make it a sustainable business throughout time. I think that's why I may have been chosen.
You mentioned manufacturing the products yourself. I imagine that's intensive in terms of your consumption of electricity.
It used to be intensive.
Okay.
So, and before we did everything by hand. Okay. So I grew up, working by hand. I had to get the spatulas and to get the bucket and fill up the products manually. It was a nightmare. But eventually we moved to California with it, and we've created a relationship with a chemist who's been with us for about 30 years. So that way we can try and get that quality control on part. We still have complete control of our ingredients and our formulation, and we tweak it. And because she's been with us for so long, that we developed that relationship to where now the passion of Perfect Tone is even with her, to where she may call me today and say, oh, well, this ingredient, we found out that this may not be best. This other ingredient is better. Let's change it out. Okay, perfect. New batch that comes out next week has that new ingredient.
Do you need to clone her, or is it
Well, yeah, probably.
Where have you found the most opportunity to make the business sustainable?
The most opportunity.
Give us a few then.
Right now, when you're thinking about sustainability, it wasn't more of a big project, but a daily practice on different things that we do. The biggest thing was looking at safety and making sure that, with the ingredients that you use, sometimes it affects the reproductive system of women as well. And making sure you check for every aspect of that. So that formulation and trying to streamline those overhead expenses, and that was the biggest thing.
All right, so tell us a little more about the exact pitch, and then we can get why it was successful.
So, with the exact pitch, I was nervous. My Apple Watch kept ticking off every 2 minutes, saying that my heart rate was up, but miraculously, everybody was asking me why I was so calm, and I was like, "Do you not even see me? I'm sweating up here." So with the pitch, it just really spoke about who we are, where we came from, and the sustainability features of why it's lasted so long, what makes it last so long, what we do within our products, what we do within our practices to make it sustainable. We showed some before and after pictures because the biggest point of difference that Perfect Tone has that a lot of people may not have realized yet from the outside in is our products, they deal with multiple concerns per SKU. And with that perfection that my mother and I had for the brand, we got to where over 94% of our customers see results, if not full results, within 30 days.
Wow.
And that was part of that, perfecting that product and trying to get that tweaked as much as possible. So yeah, but the competition, with that, I felt like there were a lot of heavy hitters. I did not expect my name to be called. And I was surprised every step of the way because, there are people out there doing really great things with sustainability at their business.
Yeah.
What would you say is the most difficult part of the pitch? Presenting your business or defending your business?
I'd have to say we're presenting, because when you know your brand and you know your business, you know your numbers, it's easy to defend it because you have all of the ammunition right there with you. So the really difficult thing is presenting.
Yeah.
It's nerve-wracking having all of those people staring at you and waiting for you to slip up to criticize you at every step. I was waiting for the judges to kind of because they weren't easy.
Oh boy! So what was it that you two weren't part? You have independent judges, is that right? So what do you think it was that put them over the top? What stood out to you, Felice?
For me, even though Aaron is speaking about how nervous he was, he came across very confident and calm. And I think even that sends a tone in terms of sustainability, because leaders who can be calm under stressful situations, they usually make rational decisions that help the business to sustain itself. So it wasn't always what he said, it was how he composed himself. He was getting questions right, left, and center, and it got to the point where he was just looking around like, what's the next question? And there were no more questions, because he was so able, he was really able to defend why his business should be the winner.
Samantha?
For me, it was because with all of the pitch competitions, it's kind of like an elevator pitch. You only have a very small, limited time frame to present critical information, and I think he did well. So within that short time frame, he was able to talk about not only the business concept, about the business, but then also, we had, as part of our judges, we had numbers people, because everyone wants to understand the numbers.
Yeah, of course.
And so it was critical to be able to effectively transmit about your business and how it can be sustainable and profitable within a period of time. And I think that assisted him.
Yeah.
There were others that couldn't do that within that short period of window.
So how much did you win? Did you win from winning the pitch?
So the winning prize from Fidelity was $10,000.
Yes, Fidelity was our title sponsor for that pitch competition.
Yeah.
And it was $10,000, correct.
And tell us how that has, what you've used that money for. What's happened since then?
Well, one of the main things was to even tweak the profitability a bit more, using it for inventory and trying to lower the overhead a bit for the store. Because we do have a store in Palmdale. We have one in Trinidad as well, but we mostly sell online. So the main focus was the Bahamas and trying to make sure that was as profitable as possible, because we always try to shave down some costs here or there. So you're talking about getting inventory, getting the proper amount of inventory, so that way you can bring them in proper batches. Right?
Excellent. I have a lot of questions about your industry. You mentioned paraben, and I've seen that on all kinds of products. But what exactly is a paraben, and why is it not good to have? Why is it good to not have parabens in something?
So parabens, it's just essentially toxic. And so you want to make sure that every ingredient, there's always some link to cancer. Parabens were linked to cancer and different illnesses. And usually the result from that doesn't happen for some time, where they do enough research to find out about it. So with the industry, it's difficult because we have to always keep on top of these ingredients. There are popular ingredients on the shelf that still has parabens now, because it's meant to sustain the shelf life of the product. So how we counteracted that is we make sure that we have all of our products in airless packaging. And we try and keep the turnover of the inventory as seamless as possible, so that way you always have a fresh product. Because with airtight packaging and fresh inventory, it lasts for 2 years. Parabens would make it last for 5 years. But that's only if you plan on buying it and sitting it for a while and hoping somebody buys.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier your mom noticed the skin issues. Are they the same that we're seeing today? What are the most common ones you're seeing today?
It's still the same that we're seeing today.
So it's still acne.
Right. I always try to make sure I go out in my Perfect Tone uniform, because there's a guarantee that somebody's going to stop me. And I'd rather they approach me about their skin than me to say, hey, you need to fix your face here.
Right.
So I just prefer they come to me and I give them the details, and I usually have somebody call them right there to get that free consultation and to get in.
Yeah.
To get that sort of thing.
You mentioned streamlining the Bahamas operation. How does it compare to the Trinidad operation? Just interesting.
So Trinidad is in the mall. And the Bahamas, since that's our flagship store, it's a almost 3,000 square foot store. What we're doing is we are creating a new concept, so a PT Express store concept. Because there's no rules that say that you have to have a 2,000, 3,000 square foot store to merchandise all of your products all around. It's a lot of wastage with that as well. We want to maximize our revenue per square foot, say that we could move down to 1,000 square feet, have a smaller showcase store that represents the website where people can order, get it delivered, and to have a bigger reach by having multiple locations since you're taking up less space, and that reduces the overhead dramatically.
Yeah.
And that, in turns, it makes it easier for things like solar. So there's much less space to put on renewable energy, and it's a lot cheaper to get to that point. So you don't have to go through all these changes for a 3,000 square foot building.
Right. What are some other trends you're seeing in the industry? You mentioned ingredients are different now, and now we know more about them. But what other changes are you seeing, or have you seen?
I think right now the biggest thing is people are getting the ingredients is part of the trends that we're seeing now, because people are getting more aware of what is going on in the skin and in their product. People have a need for clean skincare. There is something where people like to go fully organic or natural. With our products, you would find that some of them are organic, some are natural, and some are chemical. Reason being is that there's certain things that natural ingredients can't do. But what we do is we like to counterbalance that. So if we have to use a chemical to get that results, then we detoxify your skin with another product to get it right back out. So you get the results without the effects.
And natural and organic are two different things?
Yes.
Yeah? What's the difference?
So with natural, it could just be from a naturally sourced ingredient. Like let's say our cleanser. It has green tea in it. It has different, like it has aloe in it as well. But for something like the organic, like our moisturizer, there's
without giving away trade secrets.
Yeah,
you gotta be careful.
I'm trying to figure out how to word this specifically. So it's with the products that you do, and it's how you produce the product.
Yeah. And men, what are you noticing with men? Are they more concerned or more into skincare now than before? What are you seeing there?
I have a customer right next to me that I asked him when last he came to the store.
You're looking a little weird.
It was November, by the way. But men are getting more into skincare. We developed a specific service for men. And, it's the same with our service. All of our methods are intentional. So it's the way that we do our process on specific things that make the brand unique as well. So when you get a facial, it's not a specific facial. There may be things that we do that tend to be a little different. It's because we target a certain area. So we want to make sure that when we restore your skin, it's a clean slate first, and then we go to restore it, and then we go into toning it. So it's a certain process. So we developed a new facial for men, the gentleman's facial, because we have found that more men are coming in frequently to care for their skin, especially with razor bumps. Men are a lot more conscious now.
Yeah. Do people ever tell you they get nervous around you because they feel you're looking at their skin and judging and picking out all the issues? You need to fix that and that and that.
All the time. Yeah. So I even found out with my staff that they prep themselves before I come. So we have a new staff, and the staff are gathering her. Say, okay, Mr. Pinter, he's very particular. Make sure you get your uniform in order. Okay, you need to wax. You need to get a facial before he sees you. So everybody, but it's
I feel
it's that perfectionist in us.
It's in the name, perfect tone, right? You gotta be perfect.
And of course, we can have staff that don't represent the brand. So of course, I'll be a bit harder on them, but everybody feels that I'm looking at their skin.
Right.
So they would give me disclaimers as soon as they see me. They say, "Oh well, no, don't worry about
We're all
this. Let's just
feeling a little
pop up
judged today.
Your gym trainer is not a 300-pound slob, Dwight.
Right? Oh wow! Okay, well, this is exciting. So, what is next? What do you see as the future for Perfect Tone in 5-10 years?
So, I want to. We are making sure about getting these PT Expresses off the ground. We are implementing a mobile PT Express where we have a van to facilitate services that can come to you instead. Because a lot of times with us being in Palmdale, it's a heavy area to get into.
Yeah.
And if you're talking about an hour for lunch, that's a lot of rushing. But we will be able to come to you. And of course, in the meantime, you can get your products delivered. But we have most of our clients come from New York and Florida in the U.S. We have a lot of interest in South Africa that we want to get into more. We are retailing with a store down there as well. There's interest in Canada and the UK. So the idea is to make sure that we have enough inventory and we're able to change more lives, because the biggest thing about it, what drives us at the end of the day, is seeing people's self-esteem grow a bit more. You'd see where they come into the store, they want to cover their face, they don't want to take off their makeup. They're looking down at the end of that 30 days when their skin is restored, they're strutting through the hallway and they're like a completely different person. So we want to bring that change to more people. There are people in different countries that want to experience the brand. So if we can do that through our PT Express stores and our product reach, where we can have fulfillment in the different countries, that is my goal for to be in the next 5 years.
It's beautiful. Wow.
Yeah. Some more Caribbean storefronts in the works.
Yes. So with the PT Express, I plan on having a couple in Nassau. I want to extend to Jamaica and different places in Trinidad as well. But throughout the Caribbean, yes.
Yeah. Wow. Felice, Samantha, soon
Right.
Perfect Tone will be too big for small business
Well,
development.
and I was just about
Right? That's a good one.
I was just about to ask him, even though he's won the Sustainable Business Pitch Competition, how do you see the SBDC helping you to expand in the ways you just described?
So SBDC, I feel like I get a lot of valuable information from them now. So it's like a mentorship. So even through something like the PT Mobile Express, that is something that came about through conversation with the SBDC. The urgency for renewable energy, the urban urgency for energy efficiency, all of that comes from it. It's like your own mentor at home that can help you to excel new heights.
When you fall out of the small business category definition in the Bahamas, you did, boy. You did.
But you know, I
stuff.
think it's all a part of the goal, right? So when we talk about MSME, we want to see our micro go to small, our small go to medium, and our medium go to large businesses. Because then we can also lean on them within our ecosystem to help others who are coming up.
Right.
Whether within the same space or even, you know, just as part of being that small business community.
Yeah.
And I think it's important. The other thing the SBDC is very focused and intentional on is providing. So I heard Arna talk a lot about his other markets, right? And getting his products to the other markets. And SBDC intends to facilitate that for all of our clients even more. And so we are making the partnerships and relationships needed to provide not only local, but also international markets for our clients' products and services.
Excellent.
If I may, Dwight, there's one other thing. So in just a conversation the other day, a colleague of mine says, Sam, you know, what's the process? how can someone connect with the SBDC? And sometimes when you're in our little bubble, you think, well, everybody knows about the SBDC. Everybody knows how to reach us. And so I think it's important for me and for us to kind of share just a little bit again about, one, how to reach us. And you can reach us via phone. It's 461-7232, 461-SBDC. 7232, which is important. We have people there that are prepared, willing, and waiting to take your calls and walk you through whether you need access to finance, which I know is our big thing, whether you need access to entrepreneurial education, workshops, webinars, whether you need access to mentorship, because it's access not only to SBDC professionals, but also access within our ecosystem, our strategic partners, not only locally, but regionally and internationally, whether you need access to advocacy. So that's another big thing. And through our partnerships with BPL, a Grand Bahama Power Company, Grand Bahama Port Authority, and all of these other strategic relationships that we're trying to formulate, all of that is to help and support and facilitate MSMEs. How do you get access to us? Besides calling us, you can go to our website. Our website, accessaccelerator.org, have all of our programs we currently are running. One staple is our guaranteed loan program. And that's the one Felice mentioned earlier, where you can get access to up to $500,000, and that is guaranteed up to 75%. And that is big. We have other programs that run, on and off, whether they are grant programs, because I know that those are the most desired ones, but they are in between. So we consistently have programs running, and it is important for the public to come and access us.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to touch on that a little bit too, because I don't want people to downplay how valuable access to mentorship is. I know there's a lot of pride that we may have to say that we want to figure this out on our own or do this out on our own. That is fine. You can do it out on your own, but that doesn't mean that you can have some help along the way. And I think that they are extremely valuable in that bring that mentorship to you and give you guidance throughout the way, because I wouldn't have been able to get Perfect Tone nowhere near to the international visibility that it is now without help. And I know a lot of people, they have funding as the barrier to say that, once I get funding, I can do this, I can do that. And that's usually their first step, but that's not necessary. Funding is there to help you grow. You can get the guidance, you can be profitable now, you can start collecting money in your bank account, and you could even fund some of the things yourself. And then you could look at saying, let me get this funding to grow my business beyond the Bahamas or further in the Bahamas.
Amazing. All right, we've got 30 seconds. Remind us about the town hall tomorrow.
Right. So the Renewable Energy Town Hall starts tomorrow at 6 p.m. It's at our office, Gladstone Road, which is the old Phil's building. And if you come early, you can test drive an electric vehicle. We have a lot of energy experts who are coming. Some of them we spoke about earlier. We also have financial institutions coming to say how your business can fund renewable energy, what sort of grants, loan, and equity funding is available.
All right. Excellent stuff. It's going to be a great time tomorrow.
Exactly.
Thank you all so much for being here this morning. Felice Bethel, Samantha Roll, and Aaron Pinder. Nice meeting you from Perfect Tone.
Nice to meet you too.
And look forward to seeing you again.
Absolutely.
All right. Chester Robards, thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'll see you next week, and I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend business right after Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, have a great day, everybody. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.